Two of Diddy's bodyguards are speaking out and revealing all. Gene Deal has always been very vocal about the mogul and is now saying that the Cassie video might actually make Diddy unalive himself. And Roger Bonds, who was mentioned in the Cassie suit, is revealing that Cassie was not the only one. We have the clips. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. Diddy deserves jail, in my opinion. No one is buying this apology, and neither are his bodyguards, who know there is a lot more to be revealed. Piers Morgan got an exclusive with Roger Bonds, who had previously responded via Instagram about telling the truth about what happened with Cassie and Diddy. He was mentioned in Cassie's lawsuit. She mentioned that he had witnessed it. Cassie claims that Bond witnessed Diddy doing this, in her face in January 2009, and saw her speaking to another music manager at a nightclub. She stated that Bonds attempted to intervene and prevent it, which was ultimately unsuccessful. So she did mention that he was trying to help stop, and he does talk about in this interview. But I wanted to go through some of these clips, thanks to Piers Morgan Uncensored, where he goes in and gets a little bit more detailed about some of the other instances he witnessed Diddy doing.
The level of violence has been very shocking to people. To watch any man do that to a woman, particularly a very high-profile man doing it in such brazen public manner in a public place like that, was even more shocking.
Now I got to cut away from the video because they're going to show it, even though they're going to show it blurred and we can't watch it. So you're going to hear
that he had no compulsion about doing this where there may be cameras. But was that indicative of Diddy's general behavior towards women?
In my light, I would say yes. In my light, I would say yes. It didn't surprise me when I saw it because I've seen things to this nature before. I've gotten in between things of this nature before. And this was back in 2012. So that's why I was so adamant on what I said yesterday after he posted that apology, because it comes a time where it's like, you can't just say anything you want to say and think that people going to accept it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a God syndrome.
God complex is totally something Diddy has. He's, as we said yesterday, as we revealed that apology, he thinks he's going to get away with it. He's blaming God. I'm in therapy. It's not enough. But Roger continues.
How many times did you personally witness him be violent towards women?
Around 4 or 5 times.
And was that all with Cassie, or was it Cassie and other women?
I seen him with Cassie, and I seen him with Kim Porter, his kid's mother.
Ugh, so depressing. Kim, who's no longer here. Many have suspected that, but now he's confirming that.
I've seen him get physical. I've seen him get really physical, grab him up. It was one time that Cassie mentioned inside her lawsuit where she said she had to go over to the London hotel. I was the one that was checking on her every day at the London hotel. You know what I'm saying? So I know that to be true. I seen him get into some wrestling and punching matches. And sometimes I felt like, what are you mad at? What are you upset about? Because it's a deeper anger.
Always. There's always something deeper in there. But this is confirming what was in these claims. Now, Diddy's ex-bodyguard, also Gene Deal, admitted that Kim Porter once slashed the mogul's wrists in self-defense. Gene sat with him last month. This is an older one from October 2023, whose interview went viral now that the allegations to Cassie came out at the point. But Gene Deal has actually been more vocal since all this started. And so I think that's a great thing to do, to honor the person that you said you love, to honor the woman who gave you the scar on your wrist for the rest of your life that you could always look at and remember. You know what I'm saying? One night when they were at home at Kim's house, like, he wanted to, put his hands on her in the wrong way, and Kim took out one of those corkscrews and ripped his wrists up, and she hit an artery. And when that happened, he had to rush to St. Luke's Hospital. Again, confirming that there was issues there as well. Here's Roger to elaborate further.
The incident you alluded to in the lawsuit was in January 2009. After Diddy learned that she had spoken to another music manager at a party, he became angry. It says in the car leaving the club, he beat Cassie, pushing her into a corner of the vehicle, stomping on her, and that you tried to stop the beating, but were unable to de-escalate the situation. Is that an accurate assessment of what happened?
I wouldn't say it was accurate because I did stop it. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't a club. It was in front of a Black Tie Affair, actually. And they came out of the Black Tie Affair on Sunset Boulevard. And she was talking to a manager, and I was standing there. And then he just came out and went crazy. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand why, but I knew that we was on Sunset Boulevard, and I grabbed him and I said, "Yo, what are you doing? Like, what did she do?" And she just ran on the side of the car and she bent down, and he took off from me and he commenced to hitting her. And I pulled him off of her and I threw him in the car, and then I grabbed her and I threw her in the car. And they continued to fight for about another block or two. And then he sat there and he just shook his head. He just shook his head and said, "Take me home." Once we got her home, he then had his assistant get a hotel room at the London Hotel. And they took her over to the London Hotel for a week. And my job was to just go check on her, you know, and I went and checked on her every day. She showed me some bruises on her chest, and she showed me her eye, and she just started crying.
Sounds pretty accurate to me then. Why was he like, it's not very accurate? Sounds pretty accurate. So the location was a little off, whatever, but sounds like you did witness what she said, which is what was in the lawsuit, which we read to you guys earlier. So look, there was a couple parts in this interview that was frustrating. Like, apparently Roger thinks that Diddy should be able to get redemption. I don't know, man. I don't know if I buy this. The way he treated, so the way that they hit each other, Roger treats it a little bit like, well, that's just sometimes what happens. Couples fight. And I just can't subscribe to that. I don't offer the same kind of apology that Roger here is offering. I don't know if he's just trying to play the middle ground because he was close to Diddy, but even what he just said, he sort of several times in the interview tries to downplay what's happening. And even if Cassie was defending herself, again, it doesn't sound like she was starting it. And there's just no justification for it. But let's continue. Here's some more.
Do you think this is the beginning of the end of him?
In my mind, I felt like it was the beginning of an end, because I do really feel like other people are going to come forward. Because if the incident that I'm telling you about was 2012, and then this incident was 2016, that means between 2012 and 2016 that this woman still went through these beatings.
Yep.
All the way up, I guess, until she left in 2018. So I feel like there's going to be other people that come forward.
Well, also, you have also told me that you saw him do similar beatings with Kim Porter, who sadly died, obviously in her 40s, was the mother of his 3 children. But that in itself is indicative of a pattern of physical violence towards women.
Yes, very much so.
Which again, why I don't offer the forgiveness that Roger seems to be willing to offer him if he seeks help. I don't think there's enough help in the world, personally. Well, now here's Gene Deal responding as well towards what's Diddy going to do now that these tapes are out.
No endorsements. Nobody's going to have anything to do with old boy. And when they come out with this other stuff, he going to come back to work. I wouldn't be surprised if he do the ultimate sin, is suicide. Because bruh, he's such a narcissistic that he couldn't stand not being somewhere and not being seen.
He elaborates further in the interview and says a little bit more.
He was talking about taking his life at the City College thing. Yo, D. Ferg, ASAP Ferg's father, say, yo, man, we got to watch him, man. This nigga talking about killing himself. I say, so let him.
Gene Deal does not hold back. You can watch his interview over at The Art of the Dialogue, and you can watch the full Piers Morgan interview over at Piers Morgan Uncensored. We got some more to talk about with Piers Morgan because I was back on the show and we had a little bit of a tussle. We did. I disagreed with Piers. I pushed back, and yes, we argued more about Baby Reindeer. You're not going to miss our live today, but we're going to talk about it. We're going to continue to debate from the Piers Morgan show. So stay tuned, watch it. You're not going to miss it. We'll be live later this afternoon. So if you want to make sure you get it, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for alerts so you get notified. When you get those notifications for Popcorn Planet, make sure you click them and smash the like button every time you come to a video. It helps the algorithm. Leave your comments. I want you to continue the dialogue down below. What do you think? What do you think of these bodyguards coming forward? Should they have come forward earlier? Or do you think they were scared? He does sort of talk about that as well. And you'll watch it in the full Pierce Morgan interview about how, yeah, what are you supposed to do? There's a lot of threats and things going around. What are your thoughts? Let us know down below. And thank you guys so much for watching.